Welcome back to Chai and Chill. This week we're going to be talking about egos. Welcome to Chai and Chill.
Oh my god, stop it! Alright, so for the format of this podcast, we are literally pretending to have a conversation about egos like we normally do because this is the kind of stuff that we talk about. We're trying to be super authentic and none of this is scripted. We literally haven't even properly thought about what we're going to say, so this is as real as it gets.
And if any time in this conversation you feel like you belong in it, please put a comment down below and we will continue the discussions down there.
Yeah, either disagreeing or agreeing, doesn't matter. We don't mind. We don't really care.
Yeah, we don't care. Honestly, please actually do send us hate. Like, I literally want hate.
I don't know what. She has a weird-ass obsession with getting hate mail and hate, comments. So.
Yeah, I want to see what the worst you could do is. Send the worst thing you can think of and send it my way. You know, I don't get it enough. My ego needs to come down a bit. There you go. Back to our topic. We're also a little bit ADHD, I would say.
A little bit, a lot.
As you can see, we cut into a conversation. Sorry. We go from one little topic to the next. If it doesn't make sense, it's a conversation. Screw you. Listen to it properly.
This is going to start with egos and end with something completely unrelated that has nothing to do with egos.
Yeah, maybe it's going to end with, hockey. Trump. Yeah, biggest ego out there. Right on topic, Ashani. Let's get into this.
Okay, probably discuss what ego actually really is. So we Googled it because Google has all the answers, and Google says a person's sense of self-esteem or self-importance is the definition of ego. It also says the part of the mind that mediates between the conscious and the unconscious and is responsible for reality testing and the sense of personal identity. If you understood that, you're weird. I have no idea what that means.
See, when I thought about ego, I thought it was just an inflated version of yourself. You just view yourself as being a lot more important than you actually are. And that, for a lot of people, it's just a defense mechanism, right? So you think yourself as being much better than what you actually are.
That's true. It usually doesn't have to do a lot with the actual ability. It has more to do with what you're trying to compensate for, I think.
Yeah. So it's I think the higher, the bigger ego that you have, you're obviously trying to compensate for something or trying to hide something.
Yeah. Generalization though, right? Because some people might actually think they're the friggin' shit.
Yeah, at least for me, I know I consider myself having a high ego, but it depends on what the context, right? I know I'm trash in a lot of contexts, but then in some contexts, I'm ego, and I use the inflated self-esteem and self-inflation just for jokes as well, because I make a lot of jokes about myself, and I find that if I over boast about myself, and then it's funnier, so I do it as jokes most of the time.
Well, it's kind of the concept of roasting, right? You roast yourself before somebody else can roast you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's you're making fun of yourself, so it's a defense mechanism.
Yeah,
the ego works the same way. Before you can underestimate me, I'm just gonna tell you I'm good at this, so that you can't underestimate me, even if it's a lie.
Yeah, or
an exaggeration.
Yeah, or an exaggeration. But yeah, I think it just depends on what exactly what you focus on, because for a lot of people focus on actual ability to do things, whereas some other people do it on themselves,
physically too.
Yeah, physically.
I think I'm the shit because I look really good.
Yeah, and it's just
it's a really different conversation than I think I'm the shit because I'm intelligent, right?
Yeah, which is
a different.
Yeah, it's a completely different context. So it depends on context and where you use ego. But I think for most part, it's probably a defense mechanism, to be fair. But does your ego get in the way of your actions?
Yeah, all the time. Literally every day. I think, I'm not even, actions, but more your openness, I think. Because there's things that you don't say or do because you're no, I'm better than this. Or your ego gets in the way. Why should I be the first person to do this? Or why should I be the first person to bring it up? And that's when your ego gets in the way, when it's in the hindsight of things, it really doesn't matter. Who the hell cares? This is a small, action, whatever.
So it makes you more petty.
Yeah, I don't even know I know I'm being dumb when my ego is in the way. I know that. I'm you're being a piece of shit right now, and just put it aside. It's not a big deal. But I can't help it. I can't help it. It's it is an action of or a feeling of entitlement. It literally is, because you have to check yourself and say who makes you, or who gives you the right to feel this way? Why do you feel so self-entitled than somebody else? We're literally all the same. We're on the same page. Why do you feel your ego is bigger than somebody else? Put it aside, right?
So it just stops you from So someone like messaged you or like texted you, and then they responded back like an hour later. So you'd wait an hour just to respond back to them. Is that like what you mean?
I think there was a point in my life when I was like that, like not that long ago. I was like that, but I think especially this year, I'm trying to make a conscious effort to be like, just do you, like, who the fuck cares? But it's a scale, it's on a spectrum. It takes time, and you like put it in motion, but you're not going to be like that right away.
Yeah,
right? You have to make a conscious effort in your head to switch your egotistical ways, or your egotistical instincts, and put them aside and be like, hey, I'm going to not be such a little child about this. This is just one example. Right?
Yeah, for me, like just that same example, like if texting like an hour or two late, I don't think I've ever done that, but I feel like I stopped texting people. Like I'll take like a week or like 2 weeks or like a day or two to respond back to people, and that's not
Ghosting.
because I ghost a lot, and that's not me because I have an ego and I don't think I'm better than you. It's just because I just need my time away from you, or like not even from you as a person, but I just like there's other things happening me responding back to you right now isn't on the checklist, because for me, like social interactions, like having too much of it, having it like too much in person or even like too much over text is just like too much. I get tired of it, so then I have to take a step back, and that's not me having an ego like compared to someone. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it kind of makes sense. Yeah,
like for me, it's just like I'm just tired of talking so much, whether that's over text or in person, and I just need time for myself. And to do that, I just like crawl back into my little bubble, and then I'm fine, and I take my time, and then I come back, and then for a lot of people, like that's not okay because they want like constant.
That's very true.
Like appreciation for what they've said.
Or just contact.
Yeah,
they
contact.
Just want contact.
And then for me, it's like the opposite, where I'm just like, hey, when I ask for space, I need space. And like, let's just go in and out. And then like, until we find a good balance. Like, I guess even when you and I first started, we didn't like talk
all the time.
Honestly,
I don't remember.
Like, I don't remember either, but I feel like we didn't talk all the time until we like got to a place where we're like close and we figured out like, hey, we can actually deal with another human being 24/7. And even then, like, now,
stop exposing us, man. Don't tell people we talk 24/7.
No, to be honest though, like I feel like more like the people who know us genuinely in real life are gonna find out more information about us through podcasts than in real life.
But we're pretty closed off though. That's why.
Yeah, we're pretty closed off, and that's not because of our like. I don't know if that's an ego issue or just because I think
it's just how we are. Just, I have no explanation for it.
Yeah. Well, if you're our old friends and you're getting to know us, welcome. This is us, the real us.
We're actually like. I mean, we're also like how we are
in real life. Yeah.
This is another side, I guess.
Yeah, this is, I guess, it's a deeper side of like our normal conversations of our mind.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
But like,
so what were we talking about?
Yeah, ego. We were talking about ego.
How the hell did I get here?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, back to egos.
Yeah. I think to some extent, like, ego, like, holds you back from your actions. Like,
I think it does
if you had, like, an opportunity, but then you knew someone else was getting that opportunity, and you didn't, like...
Okay, well, this is a really small side, like invitations, for example. Because that's what I don't know why that's the first place that my brain went. Like, when someone invites you, like, let's say it's a mutual friend, and they invited you, but didn't invite me, and you were like, just come with me, we know this person. I wouldn't go to their house, right? I would be like, what the fuck? They didn't invite me. And that I'm not going to go, even though who cares? Like, it's a house party with 50 people that are not invited. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But my ego will say, no, I should have gotten a proper invite, so I'm not going to go.
Yeah.
But why is it important? You're going there to have a good time. People are already drunk. They don't even care who you are or what the hell you're doing there.
Yeah.
Right?
Another context for that, or like, I guess, okay, so these people that we do know, they were invited to a party, right? Mm-hmm. And the wife found out that they were the last people to be invited, and they're really, really close, right? So the wife was like, I'm not going to go, and you shouldn't go, and this other person shouldn't go, and this other person shouldn't go either, because in our friend group, like, we're the last ones to know.
Yeah.
And they invited us only because they found out, like...
They had to.
They had to, right? Like, that we found out, and then they kind of had to. So then, like, the husband and everyone else was like, I'm still going to go, like... They must have not invited us because this was happening, right? Like, because they knew we were busy. They knew we were doing this, and this.
That's a logical, smart, mature answer.
Right? And then we're probably, like, we should still go nonetheless because we were still invited.
Yeah, because we're close friends.
Yeah.
We have a relationship, blah, blah.
Yeah, and we should maintain that.
Right.
the wife was like, I don't think we should go. I don't think this is the right move.
What would you do in that situation?
I don't think I would care enough.
You wouldn't go?
No, I don't think I would care enough about the situation. Like, I would go.
Yeah.
Right? Just because I would go. Because, like, I don't really, like, for me, I think for a lot of things, I'm just like, I don't care about you enough for me to actually have an opinion on
this. Or, like, to get hurt about this.
Yeah.
That's very, like, unattached. That's good.
Yeah, I like to be unattached and, like, very, like
mellow.
And, like, water and passive because I'm like, I literally don't care.
Yeah.
I try to keep that attitude with everything.
See?
Whereas I would probably be, like, the husband where I'd be like, I think we should just go. We don't have to get them a bomb-ass gift.
Yeah.
You know, but we should just go and show our faces, even if it's for 5-10 minutes, and
right.
we can do our own thing after. But it's still like, we should just go and see the people that we haven't seen in ages who are in town because of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then just see them and make it a point to see them instead of everyone else, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like I would just do that because I don't care enough about when I was invited.
Yeah.
And it would just be like, okay, cool, I'm going to go. I'm going to have a good time and focus on myself rather than care about the situation. And, like, if I was invited first or not.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think sometimes our ego puts things that are not really, like, that weren't the point on the limelight. Like, the point of that situation was not when you were invited. It was the point of being invited that you can spend time with, like, quality time with people that you care about. So why is our ego stopping us from doing that? Like, it's a very interesting...
I guess it's entitlement and, like, self-importance and how you see yourself.
Yeah.
Right? And then
or is it like, is it extra self-entitlement or is it lack of like, do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, do you feel like you needed an extra, like, a special invite because you have a lot of self-esteem, or if it's like because you have low self-esteem?
See, that's the thing. I don't know the answer to that because people incorporate, like, even if you have low self-esteem, you can, like, bounce it up by having a huge ego, and then that's, like, the facade that you put up.
Yeah.
And then some people have like, really good self-esteem, and then that just translates to a higher ego, right?
Yeah. So it's hard to
pinpoint what it actually is unless you actually know the person one-on-one. And,
even like, then, I don't know.
Yeah, and then you have to, like, know about their insecurities and all these stuff, and that's, like, a very deep level understanding of what it is, and I don't think we would ever know that.
Yeah, you can know someone and still not know that.
Yeah. Like, I have no idea how would I figure that out. So I guess the bigger question is, does ego stop you from asking for help?
Yep. I think, yeah, all the time. I think I have a hard time asking for help, even when I know I'm struggling. But part of it has to do with a lot of things, I think. Part of it has to do with, like, this feeling that I can do everything myself. So that's the biggest thing that contributes to it. Where obviously I know I can do everything myself, right? Mm-hmm. Like, obviously. But it takes a lot for me to admit that I need help. I don't know why, it just does. Like, I want to try it on my own first. I want to, if I can do it, I want to fuck it up first myself, and then be like, hey, I thought I could handle this. I had the solution. I fucked it up. Now I really need help. Which it's not necessarily a good thing, because someone else could have just told you that and saved you from all that, like, pain, hurt, time wasted, emotions wasted. But your ego is so big that you can't even ask somebody else in the first place, right?
Is that because you don't want to disappoint the other person? Like, so if you're in a context of work and you have a supervisor and you don't want to, like, disappoint that person if you've put them on such a pedestal, gosh. Is it because of that, or is it actually just ego?
I think I switched jobs in May, and I had the hardest time that first month because I went from working somewhere for so many years and knowing how to do everything myself and doing it, like, well myself, to literally not even knowing how to, like, turn the printer on because it's a new technology, right? So that transition was so rough for me because I would have to ask my coworkers every small thing, like, hey, where's the photocopier? Hey, how do I print this? Hey, I need to file this properly away here. How do I do that? And it was so hard because I had to ask for help every step of the way. But it's a completely normal transition that happens to literally everyone, even people that are, like, whatever, like 50 years well established in their career. They still, when they go through a transition, it's just a transition period. Everyone asks for help. It's okay. But I remember a time where someone asked me to do a spreadsheet, and it was on some sort of compensation. I had no idea what the hell the spreadsheet was for, right? But I struggled with one formula for literally 3 hours. I struggled with it for 3 hours before being like, Ishani, you wasted 3 hours on one small part of the spreadsheet because you couldn't figure it out. I tried everything. I Googled it. I went to, like, last year's spreadsheet, looked through it, tried to copy that from it. I legit did everything I could before I went, all right, you're a piece of shit, you're a dumbass, you can't even figure out a formula. And just when I was about to be like, okay, I need to ask my supervisor for help because I don't know how to do this, I figured it out. And I was like, look, you just give up too easily. And then that's another whole conversation where it's like, you're not trying hard enough. That's why you're asking for help. It's not like, it's not your ego that's in the way. It is your ego that's in the way, but it's also like connected to, you're not working hard enough. You need to work harder because you can do it on your own.
Yeah.
So it's a very like, it's linked to so many different things.
Interesting. For me, like I remember when I started working at my work over the summer, I had the exact same problem like with technology, but then, but it was already like I knew how to do it, and then it was just like the technology aspect wasn't working. So like I did like half of it myself, and then the rest it wasn't just working. So then I actually had to ask for help because it was like I needed to. And then for a lot of parts for me, when I ask for help or like, it's not that I need help. It's like the work will be done. I won't ask help for the work. I'll ask for help or like approval after. And I like that has nothing to do with ego, I don't think. But for me, it's like I want to get the best work done. Yeah, so I'm going to ask the supervisor in front of me, is this good enough, right? And then so I connect that with a lot of stuff that I do. I would try my best to do everything. So I won't ask for help in the process of, because I'm like, I want to do it all and then let you see my final, final thing. Yeah. Even if it has a lot of mistakes, anything, I want you to see it. And then, so you know my visions, because I don't want to like tell you my vision halfway through and you're like, I don't get what you're saying. Because that's happened before, right? Whereas like someone might tell you halfway through what you're actually thinking, like it's not good enough. Yeah. Whereas if you just completely went through with it and they showed you like the work after, then they're like, wow, I actually see what you mean, but you could tweak it up here, right? Yeah. So that's when I ask. I kind of stop asking for help in the middle of stuff. I just kind of finish it off and then ask for help. Because even when I was younger, I had this huge thing of perfectionism. So I literally, if I was not happy with quality of work, exactly. If I wasn't happy with quality of work, I ripped up.
Just restarted.
I ripped it up. Like I was not happy with what even what my partner does. Like, and that's not a normal thing for like
it is for a lot of people,
junior high kids to do, right?
At a young age.
If I'm not happy with your quality of work, I will tell you straight up that this is not the level of work that I expected and what I want my name to be with.
Attached with
right? Yeah. So like I have ripped up work before because I'm like, this is not good. Yeah. And even when I was younger, like I put a lot of effort in because I knew exactly what I wanted to do and how I envisioned it. So like I put a lot of effort in and like no one really got where I got that vision from and they questioned it. But then at the end I got like, the results that I wanted to. So for me, I stopped asking for validation in the middle of it. I just asked for it at the end. Right? Like for you to like see if you get my vision. If you don't get my vision, that's cool. That's fine. But like,
is that asking for help?
It's not asking for help. And it's not like, for me, it's just like a boost at the end. Like I just did it by myself without asking for stuff.
Yeah. I think that's asking for help in a very, very like work-related context because your coworkers or your supervisors may not be people that you're really close with like emotionally. But what about asking for help like emotionally? Like, hey, I'm struggling with something right now. I need your opinion or I need help with this. Like, do you know what I mean?
Like the threshold?
Yeah. When do you do that? I don't know if you do that.
The thing is, like, what I'll do is I'll like send a quick message. I'll be like, oh, if I'm going through things, I'll just be like, hey, I need time. Like give you like a little thing that like I need time. Yeah. But then when I need like emotional opinion or something, I kind of like I'll text you obviously, but even then, like, it'll be a topic that you won't really know the full context about.
Yeah, it's
like,
really hard giving advice from the other side.
Yeah, when you don't know the full information. Full story,
yeah.
And I feel like...
Which is okay. I mean, you share what you can and you share what you want, which is fine.
And I feel like the reason I do that is because I want to see where you're going. Like, what your mind... If I give you, like, a little topic, that's still main topic for the entire thing. Once you have that information, like I feel like I can use that and see if it works. And if it does work, I can tweak it. I can figure it out. And then once I figure it out, I'll let you know what I went through.
Sometimes I call you out on it too. I say, hey, I need more context. I can't help you with that.
And then I ignore it. And
then you're like, okay, this is too much. I don't want to talk about it next.
Yeah, but you do the exact same thing,
I do that
right?
too, yeah.
And then, or like if you're talking about one thing too much, like if you're working on a project and you're like overload, right? Then I want to be like, give me something to do. Even though I'm not going to do it to the same quality as you, but like, even that I can help you, right? Like for me, I feel like I just ask you, I'm like, hey, let me help you.
You do
like,
that a lot, yeah.
Like, let me just in and so I can help you. And
Okay, it means a lot when you say that, just FYI. Like, even when I say, no, I'm okay. Like,
yeah, no, I get it.
Offering is a lot for me.
But like, it's also like, I feel like once ego like lets you like work harder, like there's no threshold to stop you from overworking yourself.
Oh yeah,
you know
I
what
overwork myself all the time. I know that.
So then like as someone who's like an outsider and seeing you overwork yourself, it's just like, whoa, you need to calm down.
Yeah.
Stop like over like putting yourself into this thing, right? Do you get what I'm saying?
I have a hard time saying no to stuff.
Yeah, so it's like ego like pushes it drives
like, I can do more, I can do more, I can do more, I can do more.
But then it's like there's no threshold to stop you from working more because you're still like, I can push myself more. Whereas your body's like, hello,
I know,
give me food, give me water.
I forgot to eat. For like little
so it's like that's what happens to you. Like
vitamins.
when you get in the mood for it, then you just don't think about everything else because you're like, I can work harder. I can cut time by not eating. I can cut time by like not doing this and this. Right? And you will overwork your body and your body's like dying and you're like, hello.
Well, I guess acknowledging is the first step, right? Yeah. Acknowledging like, hey, this is what my brain is doing to myself. This is what my ego is doing to me.
Yeah.
It may be healthy. It may not be very healthy too at the same time.
Yeah, but then how do you stop it?
I don't know. I think self-awareness. Like getting in check, like, hey,
how far you can go.
Yeah. Like I don't even know how to put it in words. Like,
because I feel like we both are pretty self-aware. And then we both don't know the answer to how to like keep our ego in check. You know what I mean? Not even ego, but it's just like how to keep ourselves in check to like make sure it doesn't go out of hand, right? Like we don't have a threshold yet because we think that what we've done is normal or healthy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's not, but we know that.
Yeah.
I think it depends on who is on the other side. So if my actions are affecting just myself, I'm a lot more likely to neglect them. It's really bad, but I'm a lot more likely to say, like, I know I'm exhausted. I know I'm tired. I know whatever. I'm just going to put it on side because I'm the only person that's getting affected by it. But if my ego is stopping me from, like, building a relationship with somebody or, like, it's my ego is, like, hurting somebody else, then that's where you need to be like, hey, you're hurting another person. Like, put your ego aside.
Yeah.
Get the
I
fuck
agree
over
with that.
it.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree with it.
But then at the same time, it's like, why is it okay for you to do that to yourself, but you can't, but not to somebody else?
Exactly.
It's not worse. Like, you're hurting yourself
because you want this thing, like at the end, like the end result. Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question.
It's such a hard topic too, because it's like you have to be so like self-aware and you have to put things into motion to even talk about it. And I don't think we've reached that level yet.
No, I don't think so. I think it's like step by step, where it's like wind down almost. Like, like I have a very weird way of like processing it. So like, this is literally what happens in my head. Like, there's a problem, and the problem, I take that problem and I say, okay, this is the problem at just like at first glance. And then I think about it and I go, this is a problem at first glance, but it's a problem because all of these things are, like, I'm getting hurt by it, or like it's bothering me because it's stopping my growth or whatever. Like, you know, all these side things are affecting that problem. And that's where usually the ego comes in. Right? So it's a problem, sometimes not even because it's a problem, but it's because my ego has created it to be a problem. Right? So you have to like self-check and be like,
Interesting.
Put your ego aside. It's not even a problem. You're just creating it to be a problem.
For me, it's like the opposite. Whereas I'm like, I see the problem and then I say, this is my problem. This is what I can do. Can I do anything actually? If it's no to that, then I'll avoid it. If I can do something, then I'll try my best to work at it. But even then, like, I'm a very good runner for my problems. Like, very, 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 very good at it.
Super annoying.
If that was an Olympic, like, I would be gold. Like, every year, gold. Usain Bolt all the way. Like, so I'm really good at avoiding and running away from a problem. But in doing that, I create these, like, weird, bad jokes that are really, like...
They can be hurtful, man.
Yeah, to yourself, right?
Yeah.
Like, so I create those jokes because I find those kind of jokes hilarious. You know those memes that just, like...
cynical.
Yeah, cynical
Very
jokes.
Cynical. Yeah.
I find those hilarious. Like, those dark humor.
Yeah.
I just... That's my niche. That's where I live. And that's what I find hilarious. So I like create those and then I use them as like a ego little thing that I talk about myself. And then because I just think like that's what's so funny about life. Like you can make life into a joke and everybody in my life, like my mom, my brother, everyone hates that I make life so like
You
simple.
just take it lightly sometimes because you're dealing with it.
Yeah, because I'm dealing with it. And like, how else are you supposed to deal with life? Take it as reality? No, thank you.
It sucks.
Genuinely, it does.
Sometimes it sucks, yeah.
22 years of life, right? Like
And you already
can't
hate it.
Yeah, you can't make a joke out of it. Are you kidding me?
Okay, we're not actually this pessimistic, I swear to God.
I am. Let's be real. Shani sees like happy rainbows, and I see like
That's why we balance each other out.
things that are on fire all the time. And like, you know that meme?
Which meme?
Like literally every single meme of like the kid, like the little dog that's like in the fire room. And then, you know, Troy from Community, he just runs in the room like circling around. That's literally my life. And that's how I view life. You know, I just view it as like things are going to go to hell, right? Yeah. So why not make a joke out of it? Why not make it funny? And then everyone hates it because they're like, you're not taking this seriously. I'm like, I am in my brain, but this deserves a topic. Like, this deserves a joke because you're taking it too seriously. And
people have called you out on that, though, hey?
Yeah, a lot. Because I find it like, if I'm not going to make a joke out of it, that means I have to deal with my issues, right? Yeah. And I'm not going to do that. And then that means...
Great advice.
That's exactly what you do. If you want to deal with stuff, don't.
You just ignore it.
Just put it in the back of your brain, file it under things that are called shit, and then never look at it again.
It'll blow up in your face 5 years from today.
Never. That's okay. Like, it won't bother you ever again. Like, things will be...
Stop giving people terrible advice.
Hey, if there's a psychologist who's listening to this...
Maybe we need help.
Yeah, maybe we need help. You're going to listen to this and be like, wow.
No, I do know we need help, though.
This is us, our way. This is our therapy.
We're calling out for help right now.
This is a free therapy. We're both like, help us. But we're in reality, we're like, we don't really need help.
We got really sidetracked.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
This is exactly what we said was going to happen.
Ego. Bring it back.
Bring it back. Ego. Good for you, bad for you. No one knows.
Yeah, I don't know what the answer is. I don't really know how to put it in check. I think it's really good to
just do what you want to do, man. Like,
just recognize it and don't let it hurt yourself and don't let it hurt other people, I think. But easier said than done because
we're trash and we don't know what we're doing.
We don't even know how to do that. So maybe check back in a few years. Like, maybe we'll be better, maybe we'll be worse. Who the fuck knows?
Maybe we'll make it big and then our egos will be
like through the roof.
Yeah.
Like, what if you were a celebrity? Holy shit.
If I was like Kanye West, like, but Kanye West is an asshole. Like, excuse you.
He is.
No, I love Kanye West.
Yeah, he's such a douche on the freaking TV.
I don't care. I think he is a genius.
Maybe we should make a podcast called One About Kanye.
Yes.
Comment and like if you want.
There will be one on Drake for sure.
Yeah. There's Juju. There's going to be one on
Juju. Our bae, Juju. Hit us up, Juju. We're waiting on it.
He's not listening to this, but okay.
Please do. Send it to Juju if you know him. Anyone from the Oilers, just send it to them.
Anyone from the Oilers, talk to us.
Yeah, we are looking for free shit from the Oilers. Like,
shut up.
Maybe a jersey. Maybe free tickets.
Season tickets.
Yeah, because, excuse you, Oilers, you guys moved, and you guys didn't even get better, but...
Your freaking tickets got expensive.
Yeah, like, what the hell? You guys should be like, you went to the playoffs last year, this year you're not going to get in. So it's like, maybe give a discount. Like, sorry we suck. Here's
sidetracked again.
Anyways, Oilers, hit us up.
Juju, I think we're done. We're now rambling about random things that are not important. But this is what we think about ego, or like, to some extent. Stay tuned for next week's podcast.
Yeah, and if you want a part 2 of this, or you know topics that you would want us to talk about, or you have an issue, let us know.
Or if you think this was really trash.
Let us know. Please. Please let us know, because we think this is great.
Bye.
Bye.
See you next week.